Me. I am a memoir. I said a memoir. The meaning of Mariah Carey.
Hello, Lamely! Welcome back to what is probably going to be our penultimate chapter as far as the book goes. It's not going to be our penultimate episode.
No.
I feel like this thing's just going to keep going until we're, until we're dead.
Titanic song.
But chapter 31 of our chapters, chapter 312, possibly of Mariah's, who knows. This one is called Dem Babies, so it's probably about Dem Babies.
No, I haven't read it.
If you are just coming in at our second last chapter, this is me. I am a memoir, the meaning of Mariah Carey. This is Fab, and that is Posh, and we are your guides through the quadrillion-selling memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, by Mariah Carey and our very good friend Michael Los Angeles Davis.
Yes.
Who's called Michaela, but I don't know where Michael Los Angeles came from.
No idea. I think capital letters throw me off.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the way we see them. And it's just like, it's one word.
It's like, it's like Michelangelo, but it's a lady. But yes, we are getting very close to the end. But before we get into any chaptery business, it has been a weirdly busy week in the world of Mariah.
Well, there might be things you know that I don't. Because I don't have much.
So let's jump onto those Mimi moments.
I've got a couple of headlines and, of course, our lead story. So we've got number ones is getting a vinyl release for Record Store Day.
Oh my god!
So
I love number one.
Yes, and I think Infinity, like number
so
one,
much better than
Infinity's
number
out
two.
there. So much. Although that can help you get another number one for Gloria.
Yeah, that
Estefan,
can. Gloria Estefan.
So we might have to get our hot little hands on that. And in another weirdly timed headline, Nick Cannon has released a new song which samples Love Takes Time.
Yes,
and
I saw this.
It reflects on his relationship with Mariah and how he basically messed up the bestest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, what was he doing? But no, we
and-
can't get back together.
But all the headlines around it, he's trying to get back with her. It's like,
I know.
no. And like he always says, like, oh no, that'll never happen. As if to go, she won't even let me in the house.
And it's so funny because like this has happened so many times during this podcast where we get to a chapter and then something that's very sort of connected happens, and I didn't know he did the singing or the rapping or anything until Mariah told me, and then he drops a track about Mariah sampling Mariah.
I know our experience of him is shouting over some songs that he was playing on his laptop before one of her concerts.
I didn't see that.
Did you not go to that concert?
No, I think I was
that
the
was
next
a hot
one.
Mess. That was
Bless.
like.
No, I think she'd kicked him to the curb by then.
Yeah, it's like, why? No, don't put Nick Cannon in my face. I didn't come here for that.
Oh, God. And in our lead story, a judge has thrown out the most of the defamation lawsuit brought by Mariah's ex-brother Morgan Carey. Morgan. That's how she said it.
Him.
How the judge said it. The judge suggested that while Morgan can sue over implications of alleged drug use and prison time for a serious crime, he didn't produce enough evidence to debunk 7 other incidents mentioned in the book, including a fight between Morgan and Alfred Roy, and failed to show that he suffered any damage to his reputation. Hopefully he doesn't listen to this podcast. We'll be called as witnesses. It'll be amazing. Wow, Morgan did this, we think.
In Aspen. He ruined Christmas.
Like, I've highlighted it in the book.
I wonder if ruining Christmas was one of the 7 that got thrown out.
Yeah, ruined it. Till she signed up. But it was all my Mimi moments. But if you have other Mimi moments, please.
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was all of them.
Oh, thank goodness. You have an
That's what I
alert
said.
on your
It's
phone.
been busy. It's been busy. It's been busy in the courts. It's been busy at Nick Cannon's house. Like, she hasn't ever really had to do anything. Her name hits the headlines.
That's so true. But I believe that is all of the Mimi moments. So are you ready for a little bit of a recap? How about a recap? A recap. Would you like a recap?
I'm prepared with my recap. Are you? This is last chapter, which was a little bit about a few good men. Mariah dropped names upon names upon names, like it was rice. For instance, while dropping Nelson Mandela's name, she made a carpet out of names. She dropped and she walked across. There's Oprah Winfrey, Tina Turner, Mary J. Blige, and Sidney Poitier. Just trampled all over those.
They didn't all get to meet him, though.
She dropped Muhammad Ali's name and in doing so walked on the carpet of Angela Bassett, Diane Carroll, and Mr. Two in the Pinkett Smith.
Oh, my goodness. I think it's 3 in the Pinkett by this point.
So yeah, we had a little name dropping fiasco. A fiesta, a fiasco.
Same thing.
A fisting party.
Just not a DP, though.
Not a DP. No, you can't do 2 of those. Just one at a time.
Well, some people would see that as a challenge.
Yeah, I know. And we don't want to know those people. You won't get 2 of those in the Pinkett Smith.
While we're all talking about this, I just should highlight that my background has Mariah in a Halloween outfit, and
yes,
the voluminous breasts are in my ear. So
yeah. I know.
All of this talk, it's all too much.
Everyone just missed, as we were setting up for recording this, Posh making the hilarious joke of, I wanted a photo of the twins, and also I thought I should have the children in there too.
Get ready for a lot of my just amazing quips throughout the Posh Synopsis. It's unhinged.
All right, well, let's get on to the gist of what's happening.
Me. Don't fist me.
Fist.
we can double. We can have a DP of gist, but that's it.
All right. Mariah doesn't watch television. So she has no idea who Nick Cannon is, but goes ahead and marries him and had kids with him anyway.
Yeah.
Also, We Belong Together gets a whole bunch of awards. Touch My Body breaks some records. Mariah records another Christmas album, divulges a secret to the First Lady, and gets Farrah Fawcett hair at home. Look, there's a lot going on. It's an emotional roller coaster.
It is absolutely.
The only way to get through this is with a posh synopsis. A posh synopsis. A posh synopsis. Posh synopsis.
My headphone just popped.
I know it's
you
late.
broke the sound barrier.
No, I just popped your tweeter.
Oh my goodness! All right, are we ready to break it on down?
I am ready.
All right, part 4: Emancipation. Dem Babies.
Dem Babies.
So we get a moment from Love Story, then a breakdown of all the 90s shows Mariah never saw.
She never saw any of
Seinfeld,
them.
don't know her. Friends,
Don't
don't have any. Nick Cannon, no idea.
No idea.
It wasn't until 2002.
To be fair, Mariah, we didn't have any idea either.
Like, he was on TV?
The first I heard of him was when
He married
you hooked
Mariah.
up with him.
Yeah. It wasn't until 2002 that she came across the future father of her children in a movie called Drumline and thought he was cute. Now, I haven't...
Which also stars Zoe Saldana, who I
Okay,
love.
see, I didn't look into this because it sounded boring.
Yeah.
Because
It's got like a really good cast apart from him.
I Googled it and he looked like he was a cheerleader or in a band or something.
I think
And I
he's
was
in
like,
the
that's
band.
enough for me.
Zoe Saldana's a cheerleader.
But then a few years later, Brat was like, he likes you. Get on that baby factory. But
Little did we know that is exactly what was going to become
my
of
God.
Nick Cannon.
And we're going to talk about that. But by then, Nick was on Wild and Out, but Mariah had just been emancipated, so she was busy.
Yes, she's very busy.
I don't know what the Wild and Out is, and I agree. I don't
I don't watch
also know what that
television.
is.
I gotta say, I'm with Mariah. I went through a period where all my friends were watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Yazina Warrior Princess. All the shows where, because it starred a woman, had to have their job title in it.
Dr. Quinn?
Medicine Woman.
The nanny? Like, she doesn't even get her first name. Just the nanny.
Fran, the nanny. But yeah, so because I was doing stand-up, like, pretty much 5-6 nights a week, I was working. I was never home to watch these shows that everyone was watching. The only show that I kept up with, and this is because it was on at 3 o'clock in the morning when I would watch television on the way home from work, was Law and Order. And like 5-year-old episodes of Law and Order with Jerry Orbach. And because they don't continue week to week, so you don't have to like worry about continuity.
Yes, that's how I got into that, by being sick on the couch, and I'd like sort of zone out for an hour and then come back.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say a rerun of Beauty and the Beast starring Stan Zemanek. Do you remember that show?
I do remember that show.
And Carlotta? Yeah, heaven.
Carlotta. I think Rhonda did it a few times.
Of course she did.
And Marie was on it.
Oh my God. So then we get something that we have been sorely missing. An achievement-heavy paragraph for the emancipation of Mimi.
Ages since we had an achievement.
Are you ready? Have you got your seatbelt on?
I've got my seatbelt on. I'm ready. I'm strapped in for the awards and achievements.
It was more than one paragraph too.
That were given to We Belong Together. Just the one song.
Just the one song.
Just the one song.
Okay. During this time, Mariah was hearing one of the songs from the album on the radio 30,000 times an hour. We Belong Together was a colossal hit. It became Mariah's Infinity Fifth number one on the Billboard Hot 100, which renamed itself the Mariah Hot 100 because the other 99 songs on the chart were also by Mariah. It stayed in the top 10 for the rest of eternity and is tied for the third longest running number one song of all time, alongside every other Mariah Carey song, beaten only by other Mariah Carey songs. It was named the Song of the Decade not only for the 2000s, but for the 2010s, 2020s, and 1940s. It is the 9th most popular song of all time, which makes it the most popular song of all time, as Mariah only starts counting at 9.
She does.
It won every Grammy, 43 Soul Train Awards, Song of the Year, and the Bathurst 5000. It even won a Teen Choice Award, which was especially meaningful to Mariah as it was voted for by people much older than her.
Yes, because she's eternally 12.
I mean, can you believe?
Because the next year up is 13.
Right. I don't know what that is.
I don't think she's eligible to vote in Teen Choice, being eternal.
Exactly. And I mean, you guys might think that I am exaggerating. This is word for word. That's what's in the book.
You know. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it was pretty full on. Like it was a big list.
And I love this. Just like, I'm not going to give it all to them during that chapter. I'm going to wait.
Well, it's like that album had so many accolades. It's like, well, I can't put all these in and all the ones for We Belong Together. Yeah. Like, that will just seem like I'm bragging. I need a few chapters in between as a rest.
And when I get to that husband thing, that's when I'll talk about it. So the most of the chapter will be about my song.
He gave her the award at the Kids' Choice Award or Teen Choice Award.
Which Mariah didn't know he would be presenting.
No.
And it was a surfboard, whatever that is. And when they did meet, Mariah said, "I heard all the nice things you've been saying about me." To which Nick replied, "If you give me a chance, I'll show you something bigger than this surfboard."
How about a lung bruiser?
Oh, I think that's punctured. I don't know. Yeah,
I get the batter all the way up in there.
It's an all buttered crust. So they began talking on the phone daily, thanks to Debrat just kind of pushing it. But Mariah wasn't ready to be a grown-up again, so this was just fun. She would not be getting married again.
Never.
Plus, Mariah had a strict no rappers rule in the romance department. She did love their rhymes, but those bitches loved gossiping more than Gretchen Wieners, and Mariah didn't want her toaster strudel ending up in no burn book.
Yeah, she did. She didn't want to find out that Jay-Z's hair is full of secrets.
And Mariah had already dealt with the rumor mill when Wendy Williams got all up in her business in the New York Times.
Can I tell you? Wasn't it the New York Post? That's
Whatever.
the gossipy one.
I don't know.
Can I tell you,
It was a long chapter.
Mariah sings so much of this chapter. Like that bit in brackets with Wendy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm like, oh, she's singing and she sings sometimes just one word in a sentence. Like she just
It's
goes,
true. That's why I don't know the words half the time. I'm just like, secret rendezvous, I will hunt you down. Okay.
No, I mean in this chapter, like she will just in the middle of a paragraph, she'll just sing one of the words and just keep going. It's like, okay.
Makes sense though. But of course, Mariah regarded Nick as a producer, comedian, and an actor. She didn't know his rap shit. She's like, I don't understand. Like, neither do we.
Rapper?
They made
Can't
each
be
other
very good. I hadn't heard of him.
I still haven't. I don't think she
I haven't
still
seen him
knows.
on TV. He presented me with this award. I thought he was a janitor.
I haven't worked with him, and I've even worked with unknown rappers. So he's not a rapper. But they did make each other laugh, which is what Mariah needed.
Mm-hmm.
One time she left a date with a basketball legend to play Nick her new album, E=MC squared.
Oh.
I wonder who it was. I don't know any basketball players.
All legends.
Well, no. Only the ones that go to Oprah's Legends Ball, which is just Mariah and that singer that she likes. During this time, Mariah was getting herself together. She was already getting it on with Jesus, but no, getting on it with Jesus, not getting it on with Jesus.
No,
That's
but
weird.
I knew what you meant.
You may know what I meant. But with the song like Touch My Body about to come out, she had to get fit in the body.
Yeah.
Like, it's time.
Yeah.
So
it's one thing to get fit in the soul.
Yeah.
It's another thing to get fit in the actual body.
Yeah. And I mean, they belong together, is what Mariah is saying.
Yeah.
They were going to cast Nick in the video, but realized while he was funny, he wasn't a convincing geek. Instead, they cast Jack McBrayer from the old 30 Rock.
30 Rock.
And Nick was held back for a love interest in Bye Bye. Little love interest moment, which we will get to. And Touch My Body became Mariah's 18th number one obvs. I mean, come on, why wouldn't it?
Why wouldn't it?
So
It's amazing.
Nick
Aretha sang it on tour.
She did, and she left out all of the juicy details because she's a God-loving woman. Do you remember that lady on Ellen who was like, I love Jesus, but I drink a bit? Something like that. Like, what's happening? Anyway, so
I love
Nick
Jesus, but I also love wine.
yeah, so I really love Jesus, is what I'm saying. So Nick and Mariah decided to pace themselves, but then accidentally hopped on the underground love roller coaster, despite Mariah not allowing him near her underground love roller coaster.
No, but because she needs a commitment.
It does. Their power balance felt equal, which was nice. But Mariah wasn't having no premarital gists until they got shit right with Jesus. Just like, he needs to solidify this before we go on the roller coaster.
I said I would never get married again, but, if I want to do that, I need a commitment. So it's catch 22.
You've got to do it. 22 inches by the sound of it. But why? So Mariah...
Well, it would make sense of a lot of what goes on with Nick Cannon.
That's true. So Mariah, as you said, never thought she'd have children until Nick sweetly told her, I'd really love to have children.
Aww.
Your children. Just two. With
Just
you.
two,
No
with
one
you.
else. Ever.
No,
I swear.
Not another 6 on the way out.
No. Then we get a candy bling moment followed by the candy bling moment.
The candy bling moment.
So Nick was a big candy fan, which Eternally 12 Mariah thought was completely acceptable.
Yeah.
And that night, she was set to be coronated as Queen of New York after the success of Touch My Body. So Nick presented her with a candy ring, and Mariah thought, this is festive. I'll allow one morsel of sugar. Just a little
one.
on the taste, just one. But when she bit into it, that shit was real, y'all.
Yeah.
Nick had put a real diamond ring a real diamond upon diamond upon diamond ring in there.
Oh my God. The description of the ring was hurting me.
Right? And it even matched her pink and lavender outfit, darling.
Oh, she knew. She'd been worded up, clearly.
Do you think that she made him change diamonds every time she changed outfits?
Maybe.
She's like, I'm wearing
You
the
need to get me-
turquoise
Yeah, I'm
tonight.
wearing turquoise. I need some lapis lazuli.
So their wedding was the absolute opposite of her first. It
Yes.
was totes spiritual.
Tote spirits.
That's it. Mariah shipped in Bishop, Sister Mary, Clarence, Diane Keaton to perform the ceremony. I think the name gets longer every time.
For some reason, when I was listening to this, I heard it as Clarence Carter.
Who's that?
Oh, he had this hit when I was a kid, like, which is called Stroking. I be stroking to the east, I stroke it to the west. I
pick a direction.
to the woman that I love the best. I be stroking.
Well, he's in prison now. So for that sexual harassment song.
And he had it was the first time I'd ever heard someone swear in like a dance song. So he goes, "Oh shit, I be stroking."
Oh my God.
And says his own name, Jason Derulo style, Clarence Carter.
Well, maybe he was there too. You know,
maybe he was there.
She said 12 of her closest friends. Maybe he's one of them.
But no, I thought that was the pastor. It
was his other career. He's a rapper too, like Nick Cannon.
Cannon. On the side. Sister Mary Clarence Carter.
Oh my God.
Diane Keaton.
So the wedding was held at Mariah's home in the Bahamas, and Mariah was dressed not by some high-profile same old fashion house,
no,
but by an independent women's designer who she kept locked in the basement. She's like, it's my Bahamas designer downstairs. So Mariah's nephew, brother, uncle, cousin, grandfather, girl Friday, Sean, walked her down the aisle, and even though they didn't care about the photos, they still ended up on the cover of People.
Oh, it happens. You try not to make an effort and you still end up on the cover of People.
I know. Oh, gosh. They just need to leave her alone. But I do love that Mariah's like, so, you know, like nephew Sean, who's had to fill the place of my entire family because I've excommunicated all of them because they've all let me down.
Yeah.
So it's just Sean now. And
it's
I'm
just Sean. It's the only
clear.
family member. I don't know the others.
No, never did.
No. I mean, how could she have slandered anyone she doesn't know?
Oh, exactly.
Exactly.
That's why the lawsuit's not working.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this woman doesn't know you.
Yeah.
So
I don't know that.
If that was illegal, she just gets on the stand. She's like, I don't know him.
I don't know him.
I don't know.
My brother Morgan, I don't know him.
And then she crosses she does a little like asterisk thing and puts X above brother, like in all of the legal papers.
X brother. I'll just initial that. X.
And then sings ex-girlfriend, but ex-brother.
Ex-Morgan.
Ex-brother. So, okay, now we have to get serious because we do have a serious moment.
I know. Like I said, this is an emotional roller coaster. Just when you think it's like, oh, it's all candy, bling, it's fun, it's silly, we're having a wedding, and then, oh, it's Christmas, her favorite time of the...
I know.
Oh.
So sometime near Christmas, Mariah was 10 weeks pregnant with a Christmas miracle. She and Nick were keeping it a secret, and Mariah was designing tree ornaments to make the announcement for friends and family. But on a routine checkup, the sonogram was silent.
Oh.
After the devastation of a miscarriage, Mariah made it her mission to prepare her body to sustain new life. She detached from the industry, turning down big acting roles, even though that is where she wanted to go after Precious.
I know.
She took up the Chinese herbs and acupuncture, which may or may not have been influenced by another non-Aretha, non-Shania diva, and all her efforts paid off. But even better, this time it was twins. Do you know that reference?
No.
It's some stupid old ad, and it's like a song. It's like it's like Kid Rock or someone, and he's like, I love parties that never end. And twins.
Oh my God.
So every time I see the word
and
twins, and it's like,
whenever I hear the word twins, I just think of the poster for the movie Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's also good. So growing two humans was rough.
Yeah.
Mariah put on over 100 pounds, meaning she weighed in at 60 pounds total.
Yes.
She had she had toxic fluid moments, gestational diabetes.
That's full on.
The most damaging thing of all was the loneliness. This is where we again get hit with the emotional.
I know. All of her friends abandoned her.
I know. They fucked off.
Because she wasn't partying. She wasn't financing their partying time.
Her team wasn't around by the sound of it. The only help she had was Nick's mother, Beth, who helped slathering on magic cream that prevented stretch marks, darling. So none stretch marks. Nick, however, didn't get the enormity of what Mariah was going through. Something I hazard a guess at saying he's still yet to grasp, even though he's impregnated 98% of the women in the known world.
He sounds like a piece of...
I just imagine it's like someone's pregnant. Oh, okay, cool. I'll send you a check. My rap is really taking off.
Like just that moment where, you know, the doctor's like, oh yeah, it's really exhausting for Nick.
I know.
You're like...
And this is why I think like he's clearly not learned a lesson.
No.
But he loves...
I will say for context, on one of his albums, there is an anti-abortion song. So I think there's a reason there's so many children.
He has a whole album?
He has albums.
That's the part that... Well, because I know, like, he and Mariah said they were spiritually on the same thing. So, again, maybe he's not a believer in the, you know, the safe sex.
Oh, just, you know, that's confronting.
Mm-hmm. But to get through all of this, thankfully, Mariah decided to record Merry Christmas 3U.
Yes.
Which was recorded at her house, which once belonged to a friend of the show, Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, we love Farrah.
We do. Mariah loved her some FF and desperately wanted frosted hair like her.
Oh, like the guy that did her hair when she was a kid.
Exactly. It's all coming full circle.
Full circle.
And of course, Mariah thought that she could get this by slathering chocolate and vanilla frosting.
Yeah, frosting
in her hair,
as opposed to frosting.
Sounds delicious, just quietly.
If I had hair, I would do
it. Can you do it anyway?
Yeah, I'll put some profiteroles on my head. Like a little crown.
Stunning. Brown cow, stunning. So, for legal purposes, one of the highlights was recording "O Come All Ye Faithful" / Hallelujah Chorus with her mother, Piggy Patricia.
Piggy Patricia? I love that she calls her Patricia Carey.
Right. Well, who else? What else would she call her?
She didn't even say my mother.
No. So, around this time, Mariah also recorded a duet with Tony Bennett. Mm-hmm. They recorded together as this was important to Tony. And he said, "I never sang with a trio before," warming Mariah's heart. But no one had the heart to tell Mariah that Tony didn't know she was pregnant and had been referring to her billowing bazoomas. That's my new title.
Billowing bazoomas.
I'm ever trying to come up with new ones. Well, they are billowing. Who can deny?
I know. When she was pregnant, there was a lot going on.
So one performance Mariah did make it to during this time was Christmas in Washington, starring the Obamas. Mariah was singing her song "One Child" when Nick had...
Child will
yeah, I was trying to remember it and it just like went out of my head.
I love that one.
When Nick had the idea that Mariah should reveal to Flotus that she wasn't having just one child. She was having twins.
Nick's crazy. Tell Michelle. You've never met, but tell her.
Yeah, go on. So as Barack and Michelle...
My husband.
Yeah, no, someone else said it.
Who's needy. Wants me to tell you.
So sorry.
Sorry, Michelle. Lovely to meet you, but my husband insists on you knowing about what's going on in here.
So Barack and Michelle were, as Barack and Michelle were going down the line to say thanks for coming, babes, to their guests.
Thank you, thanks.
Mariah violently grabbed Michelle and screamed, "It's twins!" into her ear. Can you imagine? My husband wants me to tell you, it's twins. So Monroe and Moroccan got their names because Mariah wanted them to have the initials MC. I mean, stick a fork in me, because as soon as this happened, I was like, oh my God. Monroe was named after the Hollywood icon because in the sonogram, she was posing in a white dress over a steam grate. And Moroccan was named after the room they all smoked the purple in, and other reasons. That was the main reason.
I've since found out, because it's a long time since I indulged in the illegal activities in this country, that many people call it purple based on Purple Haze, the Jimi Hendrix song.
Right, okay.
Which is, and because there's a haze in the room. So it's
Sure.
the purple haze.
So the thing that struck me, we don't really get a, like, and that's fine because it's private, but we don't get a birthing story moment. But I thought I'll take this moment to...
I imagine Mariah wasn't involved in that.
No. Probably not.
I want them removed on a Thursday. I've got a concert. And I just come and get them.
Yeah.
I'll have a couple of splashes and you just come and grab it.
But I thought I would share the birthing story from a different book that I have just read.
Oh.
Which is the Alyssa Milano book.
Oh, how was
Because
that?
friend of the show, well, it was her second child.
Is she friend of the show?
Friend of the show. So it was Alyssa's second baby. And she was a little early. So they're like, this isn't happening. Then her best friend, gay best friend, was in the room with her. He's like, if you can hold out till midnight, the child will have Beyonce's birthday. So just keep everything tight. And then...
It's 7 a.m.
Right? Because she, she's looking a little different. She's not dressed up. The people didn't know that she was Alyssa Milano, and they assumed that her husband and her gay best friend were the parents, and that Alyssa was the surrogate.
Oh, she was a surrogate.
And nobody told them otherwise. So the entire time she was giving birth, the two new husbands were in the background, all excited, and then even took photos with the baby as she's getting stitched up. And couple our child. So that's what I liked, I think, happened with Mariah as well. Although she wasn't there, so I don't know how that would have happened.
Yeah. I don't think Nick was there. It's weird that there's no description of that.
Right?
It's just, I think childbirth is difficult if you've had gestational diabetes. I think the birth is difficult.
Yeah.
Also, twins is a really difficult thing.
Yeah.
That's a big job.
Well, see, that's why, because I was meant to be a twin and then it disappeared. And that's why I was just being nice.
You ate it.
Well, apparently I always joke that. I joke that I'm very both sides of every coin. So I was like, I just absorbed it and I am both. But apparently it was mum's fault. Like it just went back into the body because we were not conjoined or anything like that. We're separate houses.
Separate houses. It was like, this real estate is not enough for the both of us.
I'm Mariah and the other one was regular. My regular twin.
Regular twin.
So, of course, having twins was double the joy. Double the joy, but double the work. And making the necessary adjustments to being working parents took its toll on Mariah and Nick's relationship, and the end of their marriage came as fast as it began.
I think, looking at his life, I think having a child is the end of all of his relationships.
Seems, even before they're born.
Yeah.
But as I wrote, in other words, it's the kid's fault.
By the kid, do you mean Nick Cannon?
I know we love everybody. We do get a faded moment and a breakdown of all the lawyers' fees. Mariah does right. Mariah, she's just a reminder. It didn't have to be like this.
Reminder of how expensive it was to get that remora out of my house.
I don't know what that
still
means.
Has to come and see the children.
So Mariah does feel that they could have probably worked it out, but egos and emotions got inflamed, and this time there was no miracle cream to remove the stretch marks. The stomach of their marriage burst, spilling blood and feces as far as the eye could see. I don't know. I told you I'm unhinged.
You are not okay. This is hectic.
We then
get hectic outside.
Yes. I mean, we tried to maintain it, but there was no miracle cream. And I assume that's what stretch marks do if you don't have miracle cream.
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, I say I don't know. I'm covered in them.
Yeah, I was going to say I am a stretchy bitch.
We then get a petals moment, and Mariah declared that there is no such thing as the perfect family.
No.
But she does marvel at the difference between her upbringing and that of her children.
Yeah.
They will never be lonely in the shack. They live in multiple palatial homes and are surrounded by uninterrupted love. Mariah has never been away from them for more than 24 hours, which eventually could be problematic, but it's nice until then.
Also, it makes me go, how often is Nick seeing them?
Just makes me think, they're going to have a lot to talk about in therapy. She's never gone.
She's just always
I'm 43.
There. She won't go on my TikTok, but she's never away from me.
No. They have memories of their parents together, apparently, even though they're not together. And their house has never been stormed by cops. And of course, they have many shirts. Many shirts.
Many things to mix and match with. They're not trying to make do with one outfit.
No.
Three.
This is not an all black moment.
Yeah.
So of the many gifts and many shirts that God has blessed Mariah with, her songs, her voice, her creativity, her strength, her songs, her breasts, her voice, her songs, and of course, her shirts. Dem Babies are a vision of love more beautiful than Mariah could have dreamed. Children of a wayward child who professed she'd never have children. Just her songs, her voice, her songs, and her beloved shirts. So Mariah has worked so hard, but still can't believe how far she's come in a lifetime, or just a few months in Mariah time.
Well, yeah.
She has broken a cycle of brokenness. 25 years/minutes after writing a love song for Christmas that came from a deep desire for joy and peace and shirts, Mariah has all she ever wanted.
Oh, I've ever wanted.
Here's my shirts times 300. Why do I have so many fucking shirts?
She had no shirts when she was a kid.
She did it, and now her children will never go shungry.
And they're probably shungry. Shirt hungry. They're probably sitting around going, oh, God, here she comes with the shirts again. We get it, Mum. You didn't have any shirts.
Oh, God, it's been 23
child. Yeah,
she pops her head in. It's been 23 hours. Do you need any shirts?
And they're just like, not just 3 short years ago, I was abandoned and alone. Yeah, Mum.
Or they spill something on their shirt. She's like, oh my God, you've made a horrible mess. You've only got 299 other shirts now. What were you doing?
Proper shoes upon my feet. Sometimes I couldn't even eat. I get it, Mum. I get it. I'll eat all my fucking spaghetti.
Linguini!
Elegant and fresh.
It's elegant and fresh, and there's no fucking parmesan. Goodness sake. You sound just like Addie. I've told you about her.
Put parmesan on that.
I told you all about the parmesan.
Put the parmesan on that. I'm taking away all of your shirts.
That's, you know how, did you ever have Mr. Shocko, who was the man who lived in the PowerPoint?
No.
Well, that was how we were taught not to stick the fork in the PowerPoint.
Mr. Shocko will get
Mr. Shocko, because he'll get you. I reckon Addie the Parmesan Nazi might have been threatened a few times. Put your fucking shirt on. No, not that one. The one that's
put 2
an
shirts
extra
on.
thread.
Just 2. Put 2 on. Just in case. Put another shirt on. Because you can.
Yeah, don't waste it. I didn't have any.
I didn't have any.
And if I had shirts, I would have had them all on.
And no proper shoes upon my feet. Sometimes I couldn't even eat.
She's even wearing a shirt in We Belong Together, I think, maybe.
That's all she's wearing.
90? Just a shirt.
This is a big old man shirt.
She's like, it's a shirt, guys. Like, why would I wear anything else?
Yeah, it's a shirt.
I have so many of them. Now, I didn't used to. Okay. This brings us to the Mariah meatiness. Mariah made it.
Oh, meatiness.
All right. So from number 1 to infinity, for A Few Good Men, I gave it an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Fab gave it Booty Shea Finity Folo Mariah Shania. And the Lamley gave it infinity.
Of course they did. It was an infinity moment.
Totally. So for Dem Babies, I think I'm going to go there. Shirtfinity.
Shirtfinity.
Have to. She's got so many shirts.
So many shirts. So much goes on in this chapter. Like, it is a revelation. It's revelation upon revelation.
It is. And I mean, now that she's got
you
so
find
many
out a whole bunch of jobs we never knew Nick Cannon had.
Right? I don't think he has them anymore. But and I'm so happy that now she has shirts to go with all her hits.
Yeah.
You know?
A shirt per hit. So many hits. So many shirts. So many shirts. So little time.
So what is your score from
Well, it was going to be around a 9-ish.
Okay.
Except because I listened to it this week.
Right.
And she sings everything. Random words and phrases, like the middle of a sentence, like it's sing. Like she's on it. She's off on one and she's having a ball.
She was on some of the Baby Happy Gas.
Yeah, everything gets sung. Plus, we get at least one song origin, which is the origin of Candy Bling.
And a few songs sprinkled in as well.
Just mentions like video clip origins, like, you know, we and also the
shirts.
The shirts. And the long list of accomplishments for We Belong Together and Touch My Body. So it's just like, well, I have to go there. It has to be Candy Blingfinity.
Absolutely. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So we will put that up for the Lamley to give us their vote. But if it's anything less than Candy Bling Shirtfinity, then you're all cancelled.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the remix?
Always ready for a remix.
All right. What is your remix for this chapter?
Well, mine's a Nick Cannon remix.
Okay.
Maybe for his whole life and career.
Mine is kind of Nick Cannon related too.
Yeah. Like, I feel like he's trying to do so many things. You know, he's acting, he's rapping, he's doing stand-up comedy, he's a DJ, he does a podcast, he's a TV host. He's a father to 812 children. And I'm wondering if he does any of those jobs well.
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe if he concentrated on one.
I think he has a talk show now too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's TV hosting. Like, you know, he used to host. Does he host The Masked Singer or something stupid?
Like that, yeah.
I think he used to host America's Got Talent. I can barely cope with one job. And I just don't know that you'd ever do anything well if it's kind of like an afterthought from your main gig.
Oops. Had another kid. Well, this does tie well into my remix, which is I'd have put has to get his tubes tied in Event of Divorce in Nick's prenup.
Oh, my God.
Because Mariah thought she had that good shit locked down. But now her precious babies have all these half-siblings that don't have the same initials as them.
I know. Well, that's their problem.
I mean, that's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Like, you had 18 more children and none of them are MC. What are my kids going to think? What are our children going to think?
He would be basically a full-time dad just on the various days of the week he has his kids. Like,
I mean, that's why he has to have so many jobs to pay.
Yeah, maybe that's, I see. That's...
Yeah, Mariah thought, no, I'm going to have hits and shirts. He's going to have jobs and kids. That's how this works. That was the divorce settlement.
Like if all of the mums hated each other, right? And they're like, I don't want that kid like hanging around with my kid.
Yeah.
And he can only have, see his kids on different days of the week. Like he's got enough kids for, like he would have to have a child every day of the week.
Oh my God.
And some days 2 children because he had twins.
That's true. You can't separate Dem Babies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot. So
he's busy.
Let's smash on into a little Can Take That Away Mariah's lesson. Can take that away. Oh, Mariah's lesson. So I actually think I have had this lesson before. But sometimes you just need a reminder. And that's what Mariah has done here. A Mariah reminder.
A Mariah reminder. A Mariah.
And that is to break the cycle.
Yes.
It may take a lifetime and not everyone can do it in 3.5 minutes like Mariah.
No.
But if you are caught up in the sort of inherited cycle of trauma and behavior and you know it, if you know it, you got to break it.
Yeah.
You got to try, you got to keep going, you got to make it happen is what Mariah would say. So that is my lesson. It's just, we've learned it before, but sometimes, we need to learn a lesson again. And Mariah knows this. And she's like, I'm just a gentle Mariah reminder, break the cycle.
Yeah, that was my entire lesson as well. Like you can be a good parent even if you didn't have a great example of parenting. Like, and because it's like, many of us go the other way where it's like, well, I just won't inflict that on anyone.
Yeah.
I just won't have any children in my life. Get away from me, child.
My shirts.
Stop wearing my shirts. Whose child is this in my house?
Is that Shania Mariah or Mariah Shania?
One of my twins. But yeah, I think if you are going to make the commitment to having a family, then don't make it as broken as it was before. Yeah. And I think, I love that she's reflecting on this. Like, I think it's weird that, like, normally one of us does a stupid lesson and one of us does a serious lesson.
I know.
It's weird that we've both gone serious on this lesson.
I think it's because it was there. Like, it was right there. Sometimes we have to find them.
Yeah. She was teaching us. It was a Mariah lesson moment.
It's Miss Carey. It's Miss Carey's class.
At
Camp Mariah.
At Camp Mariah.
Oh, I would have loved it. Do we not know anyone? I don't know hers. I have. That we don't have. We don't know Grandma Patricia.
We don't know any members of the family.
No, we do not know. Wendy
except
Williams.
for Sean.
Except for Sean, who's all of the family now.
Yeah.
Imagine how many shirts he must have.
I mean, really, when your nephew walks you down the aisle and there are no other family members in attendance or get a mention.
Even Brat's grandma, by the sound of it.
Yeah.
I assume she was invited. She just couldn't make it.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, we don't know Wendy Williams. I'm really surprised I think the only reason she got a mention is so Mariah could shade her.
She mentioned in the song.
Wendy Williams. No, I know, but that's what I mean. It's kind of like just a reminder. That's what she's like.
That's what Wendy Williams is like.
Yeah. Anyone else? I think.
Yeah.
I don't think we know any of the step siblings.
I think the step siblings do not exist. They're not on the radar. I think we barely know the dad.
Yeah.
We knew him then.
Yeah.
But I think we've stopped knowing him as well.
We just know him for the children, for Dem Babies.
Yeah. He's Dem Babies' dad.
Yeah. But if he buys them a shirt, she throws it out.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's in the trash pile. Give it to one of your other children. Mariah-isms. Are you ready for Mariah-isms? Isms. So last chapter, we both picked a Mariah-ism. I had a couple of label executives who shall remain nameless because I don't really know them. And Fab had namaste, suckers.
Namaste, suckers. I still can't get over namaste, suckers.
And we did put it to the Lamley. Drum roll. I don't know if you can hear rain. Is there rain and dogs in the background?
Yeah, that's just drum roll.
With 80 to 20%, not votes. So we don't have that many people. The winner is a couple of label executives who shall remain nameless because I don't know them. Which I was surprised because I thought Namaste Suckers read well. So I was like,
it's I don't know her. The remix.
That's true. Yeah. And that's why it stood out.
It's a pure Mariah-ism. It's
totally.
like, yeah.
Yeah, it's the diamond before it's been cut, darling.
Yeah.
So this week, as I am the champ, I will go first with my Mariah-ism.
I love the thing that you're a champion of is
Mariah-ism.
Mariah-ism.
Kind of the most important thing in the world.
It is.
So my Mariah-ism this week, because there was a few in this chapter.
So many.
But the one that made me chuckle just because it's so Mariah is a swirl is the opposite of a spiral. Just because, like, I just love that 12-year-old logic of, like, everything spiraling. Yeah. Do you know what's the opposite of a spiral? A swirl.
A swirl.
Now I'm in fantasy land with my dream lover and everything's a swirl. So that is mine. What would you like to bless us with? Out of you've got so many options this week.
So many. I had a couple of, serious ones which I loved, which were, and maybe it's just her delivery that I loved them so much. Mm-hmm. Cops have never stormed our house.
Patricia.
Piggy Patricia. But like the cops came so often. Like, the cops came at the very start of the book to break up Morgan and Dad. We've broken a cycle of brokenness. I thought was also a really, nice really sweet, moment. Poignant Mariah moment. But the thing that felt for me, essentially Mariah, is, okay, this is cutely festive. I'll eat some celebratory candy.
Yeah. As if it had never occurred to her before.
Celebratory candy.
It's kind of like
this is cutely festive.
She's never heard of it before. Like, what's that thing of like, hello, fellow students or whatever, fellow kids?
Yeah.
The adult dressed as the child. It's kind of like, oh, wow, okay, this seems...
Okay.
I can partake.
Cutely festive. I'll eat some celebratory candy.
Okay, I like it.
It turned out to be a diamond ring.
Oops.
Whoops.
That
In a
my
Hello
outfit.
Kitty tin.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that's fun. I feel like we've both gone for fun, kind of festive-ish,
Yeah.
young, eternally 12.
Very eternally 12.
Which means, somehow, keeping it under an hour, what is going on with us, we are almost home. Now, you have promised me that you have a little shout out for somebody.
This is for Brad.
Hello, Brad.
Lovely Brad, who was a long-time listener of the Puffcast, and just texted me out of the blue one day going, oh, wow, you guys are really into Mariah, aren't you? I'm like, oh, were you listening?
Are we?
And his partner is a very long-term friend of mine who I've known since... like I started doing stand-up, so over 20 years. And she texted me the other day saying, what have you done to Brad? He wants to watch Glitter. So welcome, Brad. I hope you're enjoying this. He'd be very excited by the many double DPs.
Oh my God. We had fists in this episode.
I know. I don't know where they came from.
I mean, he'll be buying him a Mariah shirt. It's all.
He'll need all the shirts. The shirts.
And Brad, you must listen with our commentary.
Oh, the Glitter commentary. I suspect that's why he wanted to watch it, because maybe he was up to that episode.
Honestly, I feel like in future I would 100% force my friends to sit down and watch it with that commentary. I'd be like, no, but you have to. It's 4D. It's the full experience.
I seriously, I made people watch it every time they came to my house. Like it was a thing. I remember like Sam Simmons going, "What are they playing a marimbula?" I'm like, "No, it's
yes," because we both made the joke without knowing that story.
Like so many people have been forced into it, and now through this podcast, people all around the world can be forced into watching Glitter while I talk over the top of it.
People have suggested that be our next podcast. Just us commentating random things.
Me and Vaya Pashos did do one for the Mariah Carey directed Christmas movie.
Yes, we will have to do that.
We will have to do that.
Is Vaya the one who does Neighbours?
Yeah, Neighbours. She did a little side project called Buddy Watch, where she would watch something with someone, and that was my choice because it was a Christmas special. Fair
enough. Is she doing okay with the news?
Look, she's galvanized. She's starting a protest movement. She's activated. I'm
just looking forward to Susan Kennedy snapping and blowing up Ramsay Street.
I mean, look,
that's what I want.
I mean, Millsy's tried a couple of times, but it'll be good when Susan does it.
Just better.
Yeah.
She's had enough of Carl's shit. She's bye.
One of my favorite moments ever when I did an episode of Neighbours, and I had the glory of watching an episode where Susan got concussion because she was attacked in her own house. There was a home invasion, and she was hit on the head with Carl's guitar.
Oh my God.
And like when she's in hospital, he's like, I was so worried about you. She's like, you weren't worried about the guitar? He's like, no, it's been destroyed. She goes, well, there's a silver lining for everything.
Right?
she's trolling him from the hospital bed.
And I'm just imagining that their little bird was the witness, and the bird had to take the stand. Yeah. And Toadie was both the defense and the prosecution
running across the courtroom.
And he had to put a mullet on for the defense.
They couldn't afford another one. Another actor.
Yeah. Oh my God. But
and that was Neighbours Chat.
That was Neighbours Chat. So next Mariah Monday, you guys, we will have our final chapter, Snow Globe of Joy. But it's a short one, so we're gonna chuck in the epilogue and the
Acknowledgements.
Yes, that's how you say that word. To make sure that there's enough heft. But can you believe?
Stop saying heft.
Heft. Twins.
Namaste, suckers.
But yes, we will have to celebrate that we got to the final chapter. It's insane, but not the final episode.
No, we're not going
By
anywhere.
far.
We're tedious.
I know. We have no friends. Like Mariah in the 90s.
Yeah.
We need to find out who this Seinfeld is. I have no idea.
I know. Well,
Who
now
is
we're
she?
going to watch every episode of Seinfeld and every episode of Friends because
commentate
Mariah
them.
mentioned them at the start
Yes.
of one chapter.
So we won't get to the final chapter for 19 years.
Yeah. Can't wait to see Bette Midler starring in Rochelle.
Oh my God. What is that?
It's an episode of Seinfeld.
Oh, that's so
She's
familiar. I
in
just
a-
watched the
she's in a
Bet
musical.
sitcom.
Oh, that is...
Camp.
Yes.
Is the word.
Joanna
So many
Gleason.
guest stars.
Joanna Gleason is heaven.
Yes. And the guy from Gimme, Gimme, Gimme.
Yes, James Dreyfus, who it's a terrible transphobic asshole, apparently.
Oh, no. Really?
No, it's devastating.
Well, anyway, he's cancelled. So even though we're coming to the end of the book, we're still around. So please jump on the Instagram, the Twitters, the Facebooks at Me I'm a Memoir. Jump on Me I'm a Memoir at gmail.com if you want to yell at us for many things.
Yes, and please leave us a rating in your iTunes or your
Yes.
Spotify's or your
1 star
your
for Fab, 4 for me.
Stitches. That's how he likes to. But
Yeah,
I'm
double
happy
DP of
with
stars.
I'm happy with any number of stars and
Yeah,
just
1
any
star
kind
for
of
you.
attention. I just love it.
Yeah.
My father ignored me. I need validation. Just give me something.
And on that fun note,
I don't have a marble corridor to skate down in my
oh my
socks.
God, your socks. Oh, you've only got 260 shirts.
I've got barely any shirts. Look at this one. It's falling off me.
See, I have 1 shirt in 260 sizes.
One shirt will save the world. That's what she was actually singing to
It
Michelle
is.
Obama.
But it's secretly twins.
All right, bye, Emily.
Bye.